darlings, welcome back to my channel. It's Mika Gem. As I've said before, sometimes I do an extra video and I wanted to talk to you guys about something I saw in the past forum, but it actually links to a larger issue I think that Chanel is facing. I really hope that you guys watch the whole video. I think you'll really enjoy this. The thread talked about two big trends that are proliferating at the moment when it comes to Chanel, and I think it's worth us talking about it. I'll post a link in the description below, but I won't go through like every single thing that someone said in the thread, but it's worth a read. The first thing that they talked about I thought is worth us discussing is personal shoppers taking over and taking every single unicorn bag that people want to buy. How do you guys feel about this? Because I've noticed this as well, especially with the chocolate brown Chanel 19 bag. A lot of people are calling it caramel. It looks more of like a milk chocolate to me on Instagram. And the brown flat bag as well. And I do feel like a lot of the people on Past Forum, while some of them seem really angry, some people seem kind of bitter. Someone was like, we should email them and email the counterfeit email on Chanel's website. I didn't know that this existed until I saw this on the thread. I was like, okay guys, you're getting really upset. I don't blame you for being upset. That's a little bit too much. But anyway, I do think that personal shoppers have kind of ruined the Chanel shopping experience for a lot of people. If you are a personal shopper, please don't take this personally. You see what I did there? I would love to hear from you in DM, or you can write a comment on this video, but I do think some of you have ruined the experience. I understand that actually I'm probably the best client for a personal shopper because I live in a country where there is no Chanel boutique. But for me, the hunt is fun to me. So I would prefer to just get products on my own. But at the same time, I don't really fall for the hype over unicorn bags. I know there's some of you who really, really wanted that caramel brown Chanel 19 and flap. I know that was super hot for many of you, and I understand the stress that you can get because you're like, okay, I've gone to the store, I've tried to get it from my SA, I can't get it, but personal shopper seems to have 5, 6 or 7. That's something that many people were talking about on the Past Forum, and I think that they're right, because when you look on Instagrams, I don't follow personal shoppers, but I follow Spotted Fashion. She does repost a lot of personal shoppers when she sees something beautiful, and sometimes I go on their accounts, and so many of them have unicorn bags that everyone said was impossible to find. Like last year, the rainbow reissue, which my cousin will hate me for saying this. I hated that bag when it first came out. I still do kind of hate it, but I kind of like it as well. That bag was impossible to find. So many people complained and said, oh, I can't find that bag, but how come personal shoppers can find it? I do think that that's becoming a big problem, and I do think that is taking the magic out of Chanel. And I do think that Chanel now have instituted some new rules. This might not be super new, but this is the first time I was hearing about it. Some people in the thread were saying how they were told by their SAs they're actually banned from buying more than 12 leather goods in a year, and I think that includes SLGs. There was more than one person who said this. If you have been buying a lot of products from Chanel, have you been told you can't buy more than one bag every 30 or 60 days? Someone was saying how their friend bought a bag the previous month, came back to buy another bag, I think it was unicorn, and told that they weren't allowed to buy it. I don't think obviously that this is going to affect VIPs. So if you're a VIP client, you're not going to be affected by this. But as I've said before, to be a VIP at Chanel, you need to buy prêt-à-porter. So if you're a VIP client, you're probably already buying clothes and you're spending at least $100,000 a year or 100,000 euros a year. I mean, that is a ton of money to spend on fashion. We haven't even started talking about your lifestyle, your houses, your mortgage payment, and all the rest of it. So I can see why people are upset, because they see personal shoppers buying, but then they go to the store, they're told you can't get a unicorn, they're told you can't buy more than 1 or 2 bags every 30 or 60 days, whatever the rule is, because it's different in different Chanel boutiques in different jurisdictions as well. So I just thought that was so crazy and super interesting to me, and it made me realize something. So many of you, I know many people think this, many people are saying oh, Chanel's trying to compete with Hermès, Chanel's trying to be Hermès. That's the new thing I see everywhere. I see it in YouTube comment pages for luxury videos. I've seen it on Facebook groups that I'm part of for luxury shopping. Oh, Chanel's trying to be Hermès, Chanel's never gonna be Hermès. Guys, I don't actually think Chanel gives two figs about Hermès, and I'll tell you why. First of all, Chanel makes more money than Hermès. As we know, this is a business, okay? It is not personal. There are no personal feelings. These bags are not, animals. They're not sentient beings. Frankly, they're not even human beings. They are just products of fashion and art that give us pleasure and hopefully function as well. Chanel out earns Hermès. I didn't actually know this until I was researching this video for you guys, and I found that basically in 2019 Chanel made, get ready for it, 9.9 billion euros. Bear in mind this is 2019, before C19 has hit, honey. Okay, guess how much Hermès made? Still a ton of money. They made 6.8 billion euros. Now I know what you're thinking, like, oh, okay, well, they haven't made that much more. That is actually a significantly bigger amount than you think. That's like a few billion. It's a few billion more. Chanel are not trying to be Hermès, people. They make more money than Hermès. They out earn Hermès. So I've realized something. Chanel are restricting the sale of goods because they are doing the two things at once. They're trying to curb luxury resellers. To a certain degree, I do think they're trying to kind of curb personal shoppers. I know that personal shoppers and resellers are a different thing. I know, and for those of you who have used personal shoppers, I am not attacking you, promise. I'm just giving my opinion, okay? I think that they're trying to curb people who are buying to resell, absolutely. But I also think what they have done, and I do think they've done this on purpose, they're kind of taking part in the social mediaification of luxury shopping. We're all part of it. If you're watching this video, you're absolutely part of it. We've seen this with, TikTok, we've seen this with Instagram, and of course with YouTube. Like, social media is powering so much of luxury shopping sales. 10, 12 years ago, you would read Bazaar magazine. I still love that magazine. You'd read Vogue, and then you'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go buy the new Chanel bag. But now it's like you're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, or you're on YouTube, or you do your own research and you read Brag My Bag, or you read Purse Bop and Purse Forum. And I feel like Chanel are like, ooh, we can actually make a lot of money by kind of forcing people to feel panic over buying unicorn bags. And they do that by restricting the amount of bags you can buy in a year. Imagine if you could buy as many bags as you want in a year. Somehow those unicorn bags that we talk about from different collections, it wouldn't feel the same way. I know what you guys are thinking, like, okay, well, they're still trying to be like Hermès. Yeah, Hermès have created an incredible marketing strategy. I actually think Chanel's marketing strategy is also amazing. It's just very different. I do not think that Chanel is going to be like, okay, you can't buy our bags, you can't sit with us, you can't buy a classic flap. I don't think that they're going to be doing that hardcore the way Hermès is when it's in terms of buying a Birkin or a Kelly. But I do think that by kind of restricting the amount of products that you can buy in a year, if you're not a VIP, that increases the pressure for people to buy unicorns. Personally, the way I view things is I don't buy things based on trends and based on what's lit and what's popping. I look at things that I personally like. So I think right now, neutrals are super hot right now. I actually, the bag I use every day is from my husband. It's like a dark chocolate flat bag. I think that you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you've probably seen me, post pictures with it. I love that bag. Obviously, my husband gave it to me and it is a beautiful color. Neutrals are not really my thing though. I've never really been that much into neutrals. I think when you're really affected by trends and unicorns, you feel pressured to buy things. And I think Chanel is kind of taking advantage of the social mediaification of their bags. The fact that we're like, oh my God, what's the latest bag? Where's the rainbow bag? Where's the Calma bag? Where's the, the houndstooth 19s that were really, really hot last year as well. So I think you need to ask yourself, do you genuinely want this bag? Or in 2-3 months when the next collection comes out, and I think the next collection is coming up very soon, are you going to feel pressured to buy more and to buy something else? And are you then just going to accumulate tons of bags in your property, in your home, that you're not actually using because you feel pressured to constantly buy? I think Chanel are very smart marketers. I think that they know exactly what they're doing when it comes to how they get us to buy unicorns. I think the unicornification of bags is even worse since when Lagerfeld was around. I do think Virginie, or maybe it's not even necessarily Virginie's idea, maybe it's the powers that be who are telling her to create really hot bags that are very trendy and that are going to be wanted and coveted, which is interesting because Chanel has always been very apathetic towards the internet and towards digital, but I think they're actually taking advantage of our pressure to buy these items. And something else I want to say, because I think this is really important, I think this will color how you plan your future purchases. Don't worry what people are saying online about brands that you personally want to buy. And the reason I say this is because if you, like me, I am still very active on Facebook. I have to use it for my businesses. So I am part of like Facebook luxury groups. So many people, everyone there is whinging, moaning, complaining about, oh, Chanel, quality, rare, all the rest of it. But Chanel out-earns Hermès, and Hermès makes quality products that are genuinely handmade. What does that tell you? That tells me the majority of people who are buying Chanel bags are not online, okay? They're not like stressing out about, oh, what's the quality? They're buying trendy, hot pieces. That is what Chanel is doing, and that is what they've decided the lane that they're going to go down towards, basically. And I think this is one reason why they got rid of the 24K gold hardware, and I don't think we're ever going to see the return of the 24K gold hardware. They realized they could still do those really trendy hot pieces for less money, and people were still going to pay the same amount of money. So why would you spend more money on, products to make things when you can actually spend less and you can still charge the same amount of money? So that says more about us. Like, for those of you who don't buy Chanel anymore because of price increases, because of quality, what do you think about the fact that financially Chanel is actually way more successful than Hermès? And Hermès has this crazy rigmarole for you to go through hoops to get a Birkin or a Kelly, but hey, Chanel is still rolling in the hay. They're still two very successful brands. But I think that Chanel is successful because essentially they make trendy hot pieces. They create this pressure for us to buy, and then this pressure for people to buy unicorns has created a cottage industry of personal shoppers and luxury resellers who are gaming the system in order to get products that actually people themselves who just want to buy something for themselves, they then can't buy. I don't think this is fair, and I, by the way, don't want it to seem like I'm attacking personal shoppers. I know there's so many personal shoppers who have created businesses and lives for themselves, during C19, and I am not hating on that. I think just for me, I'm a purist. I love the muscularity of going into a boutique and buying something. I love the kind of art of, sending a customer service email or making a phone call and saying, hey, I'd like to order this. I'm just more of a shopping purist. I understand for so many others of you don't want to play the Hermès game, completely respect that. Others of you don't want to buy Chanel new anymore, you want to buy pre-loved. I still think if you're buying pre-loved, you're still taking part in the game because Chanel has still been paid for that item, but anyway, I understand why. I'd love to know what you guys think about Chanel restricting the sale of leather goods to 12 a year, depending on, I think, where you are in the world. Obviously, VIPs aren't affected, but this is for the rest of us who maybe aren't VIPs right now. What do you guys think about this? And what do you think about the growth of personal shoppers and resellers? Do you see a difference between the two, or do you think both of them are melting together at the moment? I'd love to know what you guys think. Please make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Please make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll see you in my next video.